Are weighing in on some pivotal runoff races, and they'll decide which candidates appear on the ballot this fall. We're tracking several big races right now. I'm here with senior political reporter Jason Whiteley. So polls close just a couple minutes from now. What do we need to know right now?
Yeah, we're less than an hour out. Here's the bottom line, though, Chris. Political careers are on the line tonight for candidates in both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. But without question, it is the Republican race for U.S. Senate that so many people will be watching when polls close in a few hours here. You know, incumbent John Cornyn versus Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Neither of these candidates has ever lost an election. Tonight, though, one of them will. This really is the last major race between a Reagan Republican like Cornyn and a MAGA Republican like Paxton. Paxton has no scheduled events before tonight's watch party in Collin County. His campaign, though, did send out a blast to email to supporters, this blast, saying, "Do not leave anything to chance." The campaign said that Cornyn's counties are turning out. I did speak with John Cornyn today about the final hours of what could be a close race tonight. What kind of turnout and in what parts of the state are you going to be watching tonight? What's the threshold you have to get across?
Well, we typically do well in some of the larger counties, and of course the smaller counties, particularly in East Texas. That was a challenge for us in the primary and a stronghold for Paxton. I won't feel comfortable, Jason, until the race is called. So we're continuing to work all day today and continue the message to encourage people to turn out to vote, because that's at this point, that's just about the only thing that matters.
No idea when that race could be called here tonight. The winner of this race between Cornyn and Paxton will face Democrat James Tallarico in November. You know, Dallas Democrats have a significant race on their ballots today as well. Julie Johnson versus Colin Allred, both of them vying to represent Dallas in the U.S. Congress. Johnson currently serving, Allred running for this position again after two failed campaigns for U.S. Senate. We're going to be with both Democrats tonight. Brittany Costello is with the Johnson campaign, and Kevin Reese is going to be with Colin Allred. Kevin, let's begin with you tonight.
Well, the Colin Allred campaign will gather here tonight at the Communications Workers of America Union Hall, and they're hoping for a victory with similar margins that he had over Julie Johnson in that March primary. As you may remember, Colin Allred bested Julie Johnson by about 11% in that primary, and he's banking on his name recognition to help him come out on top tonight. Johnson essentially replaced Allred when he chose to run for Senate against Ted Cruz. Now in a redrawn district, he is vying to replace essentially his replacement. Here's part of what he had to say on his most recent visit with Jason on Inside Texas Politics.
I feel confident that Dallas knows me, and I think we saw that in the first round of the election where we won by double digits. I know there was a lot of chaos in the primary election day, and there may be some folks who are feeling a little apprehensive about it, but this time around it's going to be different. Go vote. Find your polling place at DallasCountyVotes.org.
We will be here all night with the Colin Allred campaign. Meanwhile, the Julie Johnson campaign is in Oak Lawn, and my colleague Brittany Costello is with that campaign tonight. Brittany?
All right, Brittany Costello is going to be staffing that tonight with the Julie Johnson campaign. They are going to be, they're based out of Oak Lawn. She spoke to the congresswoman over there earlier, Chris, and they're going to be over in Lakewood tonight for the watch party there. Here's the thing. We said at the beginning of this a moment ago, polls close here soon. You do have 2 hours left to get out. Pete mentioned the weather. The weather is going to be good the rest of the afternoon here, though. This is what to be watching for, though. The polls close at 7. The early vote is going to be the first big wave of numbers that is released. That will be released 7:05, maybe 7:10 statewide. The early vote is going to be 2/3 of the total vote. So we're going to have a pretty good idea early on, Chris, who is going to be leading in these races, perhaps who's going to be winning early on.
And just to clarify for maybe some of the folks who aren't familiar with it, Julie Johnson represented a congressional district that was mostly Dallas, I think a little bit of Tarrant County, and then it got redrawn to stretch all the way into East Texas, which is why she's running in this new district against Allred.
Yeah, Republicans redrew the map, as we all talked about last year. When they redrew the map, they turned this Democratic district that she represented, District 32, into a major Republican district. She's now running for Mark Vesey's old district that used to be Tarrant and Dallas counties. Now it's all Dallas County. And then Colin Allred says, hey, I used to represent that too. I'm going to run for that as well too. So you have two very popular Democrats here running in what has been, these guys were friends, but this has been a bitter campaign between them as they vie for this one single seat here. Brittany Costello is going to be with Julie Johnson tonight, and she joins us live. Brittany?
Yeah, well, we caught up with the Congresswoman just a couple of hours ago here at the Oak Lawn Public Library. She says she's excited and encouraged at the voter turnout that she's seen so far, especially at this location. This polling center is in the heart of the LGBTQ community, and it's a huge source of support for her. Congresswoman Julie Johnson says her campaign has put in some serious work since trailing in the March primary, telling us she believes her biggest challenge in the newly drawn district has been name recognition.
So we've had a chance to really do that now, really get throughout the district, educate voters on his record versus my record, and I'm so excited that so many people have chosen me.
She says her campaign has knocked 5,000 doors just in the last couple of days, and she says the work is not over. She's making stops at several polling locations across the district before polls close tonight at 7. Back to you guys.
Brittany, thanks for that. You know, both sides, Chris, really managing expectations. It's cliche to say, but it all does come down to turnout. Which of these candidates, which of all the candidates can get their voters to the polls today across the state? We will know here tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, especially in a runoff where you're not expecting anything close to the kind of turnout that we'll see come November.
Indeed so.
All right. Thanks, Jason. Sure. Busy night ahead for
Indeed.
you. Yeah. You'll want to switch over to our streaming app at 7 p.m. Jason Whiteley will lead our team coverage, continuing with a special election show on WFAA+. He'll be tracking results in real time with expert analysis and live reports from reporters across the state. You can download WFAA+ for free right now. Just open the App Store on your TV and start streaming 24/7 news coverage as well as weather on demand.